There's no other city quite like Las Vegas. It's not only become America's playground, it's where big kids from the world over come to roll the dice. For the past 50 years, that's been the case for the best with bows and arrows. The Vegas Shoot celebrating its golden anniversary, and more than 3,000 archers have ventured to Vegas for the celebration. They've come for the competition, the camaraderie, and the cash. There's lots of it on the line as we get set for the fourth and final stage of this winter's World Cup Tour, which also serves as the Indoor World Cup Final. Welcome to World Archery's live coverage of the finals from the South Point Hotel and Casino here on the south end of the Strip in a city where all things are possible. The tour started back in November on the carpets in Marrakesh, just the third time a World Cup event's been held on the African continent. The second stop in Asia, Bangkok, Thailand, and then it was off to Nîmes, where the French organizing committee staged yet another great show. Now we're down to the best of the best, going arrow to arrow, battling it out in a city that has seen its share of title bouts. Along with Canadian Olympian Crispin Duenas, I'm Carl Arky here in Las Vegas. And Crispin, it is great to be in Las Vegas in January.
Well, this is definitely a different setup than we've seen in the previous years. I mean, it's almost replicating Nîmes, for lack of a better explanation. And we're going to be seeing a lot of great shooting here on the field of play under the bright lights of Vegas in front of, I'm thinking, about 3,000 people behind us right now. And here we go to get underway.
It's a tremendous crowd on hand, and we are rolling right into it tonight. This is the Recurve competition, the women's bronze medal match. That's Bérengère Chou on the left from France, and on the right, the competitor from Korea, Shim Ye-ji. And the difference this year, it's almost, well, it is quite a bit different from outdoor competition where you qualify during the week. Then it's all done on Friday. Then you have Friday night, maybe even Saturday night till you shoot again. These archers have just come off the shooting field in another part of the South Point Hotel and Casino where they have just qualified to get to this match.
Yeah, that's right. All of the archers that you're going to see today have already competed at another stage of the World Cup, which was in the countries that you've mentioned just prior to this. So these archers have qualified and made it to this stage. And then when they got here, they still hadn't figured out who was going to be shooting in the medal matches. So they had to shoot up to the semifinals to find out who was going to be going into the finals, and that was done just adjacent to this field that we have here on Arena 2, and here we are in Arena 1, and we are going with Shim Ye-ji shooting first on target number 2.
So just underway here in Las Vegas. This is the women's bronze medal match. At 10 to start it off. Of course, that's the name of the game.
That's a very good start for her, and it's interesting that she shoots the middle target first.
Bérengère Chou from France, a silver medalist at stage 1 in Marrakesh, also starts off with a 10.
And just to note, just for the audience that has not seen an indoor World Cup in a while, since it's been a year since we've done this, each archer gets 20 seconds to shoot their arrow. It's at 18 meters and a vertical 3 spot. As you can see on the targets, there is no X ring, so the archers can only score up to 10 points. If there's a tie, then they will do a shoot off. And again, 20 seconds to shoot each arrow. That doesn't give you much time to mess up when you've gotten to full draw. The shot just has to go. And that's a great score, great intro for this match for Miss Shim from Korea, with a perfect score. And the Recurves will be doing set play, and that means that each archer shoots 3 arrows per set, and the archer with the higher score.
Very good. Not bad. She held it together.
She did, and that gives us one of the scenarios, which is a tied score. The archers have tied at 30 points, which gives each archer 1 set point. The archer with a higher score out of the set will win 2 set points, and the archer who doesn't have the higher score will get 0 set points. And it's, again, a race to 6 set points, just like it is for outdoor competition.
Taking a good look at Bérengère Chou, who defeated Pia Leonetti of Italy in the 1/8 round, then knocked off Gabriela Bayardo in the quarterfinals before falling in a shoot-off to Katuna Lorig in the semifinals. That one decided by a score of 9-8 on that final arrow.
It gets really close here in indoor competition. There's no elements that will be affecting any of the archers here. There's no wind, no sun, nothing. So it's literally just a game with yourself. There's nothing that can affect these archers right now. But right now is when you can start to see who's got the mental game to be able to perform at this high level. And we saw Berenger kind of having a little bit of flinch on that last arrow in the last set. But you mentioned just to me prior to getting on air here that Berenger had something done to her shoulder.
I think she's been coming back from shoulder injury that she suffered a couple of years ago, and it's been a little bit of a trail for her to come back, but she's here, and she's in this bronze medal match in Las Vegas. Stage 4 of the World Cup Indoor Tour, also the World Cup Finals Indoor. And Berenger Shu with her first shot here at the second end.
Both girls still running a perfect score, shooting 10s on all of their arrows. And interesting to note here that the recurve archers are, at least these two right now, are shooting X10 arrows. They're skinny arrows. They're actually meant for outdoor long-range competition.
Awesome. 10 points.
You have your choice here in Las Vegas, don't you?
You do. You definitely have your choice, but World Archery Rules states that you can only go up to a 23-sized aluminum shaft or a shaft of the equivalent diameter. But it being an Olympic year, these archers are probably trying to prep for being at the Olympics, so you don't want to really change a lot of equipment around. A lot of archers choose not to. And me being one of those archers, so I'm shooting small, skinny arrows.
Look at that. 10s across the board for both of these archers. No one has missed on the first 6 shots of this match.
And the point that I was trying to make with the small, skinny arrows is that in this type of competition, if you're just touching the line with your arrow, you get the higher score. So playing or shooting with skinny arrows is almost like playing roulette.
It's almost a disadvantage.
It almost is, but in the sake of a recurve bow, it just tunes better. The arrows come out of the bow just a little bit cleaner than some of the fat shafts that you can find out there. And the archers use this as their advantage of getting a cleaner shot, even if their execution on release isn't as clean as it should be. They still can hit the 10, as you've seen here for the first 6 shots for both of these women in the bronze medal final. I mean, 2-2 tied, and both girls have not dropped any arrows out of the 10 ring. It's truly amazing.
Good look at Miss Shim. And once again, you look at her form, her style, as well as Berenger Shu. We told you about Berenger's path to this bronze medal match. Ms. Shim defeated her fellow countryman, Yoon-Jin Kim, in the 1/8 round, 6-4. Then defeated Naomi Folkard of Great Britain 7-3 in the quarterfinals before falling to Mackenzie Brown in the semifinals 6-2. And she starts off this third set with another 10. 7 in a row for Miss Shim. The pressure on Berenger Shu, who is the first one to blink.
9 or an 8. It's on the line, but our scorers and our spotters are calling that in.
10 points.
Miss Shim is not letting up here. She's trying to take advantage of that 9 from Berenger. It's unfortunate, but that's the way this game goes.
The real task for Berenger was to shake off that first 9, come back, and recover. Now a golden opportunity here.
If Miss Shim only shoots a 9, that's a 9. It's clearly out according to our monitors
but
here.
it's enough.
But it's enough. She has won this set because Berenger can shoot a 10, still get a 28, and Miss Shim still has 29, giving her that set and 2 set points. And that's a good way to finish off. She's got her confidence back. After those first 2 arrows, some archers, especially me on my first day shooting here, were wondering why some of these arrows aren't going into the middle. And Berenger was able to come back on that 3rd arrow. Unfortunately, she could not do anything with that set. She was going to lose that set anyway. She couldn't even tie. So it's a good thing to come back and just shoot a 10, get comfortable, get confident back on the field of play, and come out swinging for the next set. But right now, it's going to be 4-2 for Miss Shim, and Miss shoe, Miss Berenger's shoe, must start to, get back into those that 30 groove. But Miss Shim has not shot any 9s thus far, and that's pretty amazing shooting.
We talk about playing forward, and I know you've been out in that situation. I have not. It's much easier said than done. It's easy for me to sit here and say, hey, shake off that 9 and just concentrate on the next shot. But that's not an easy thing to do.
It really isn't. And this starts to show who's mentally tough at this stage of the game. And I've been in this situation where I've been down like 4-0. I've been down 4-2 and still be able to come back. And that's just being able to, get my head back in the game, tell myself exactly what I need to do, and get out there and execute. And that's all that we really need to do in this sport, is be able to execute with confidence and get that shot in the middle.
Berenger's shoe trying to fight her way back into the match. She has to take care of her own business right now. And she does on that first shot of this 4th set.
Jimmy G, another 10.
Tearing up that target.
She doesn't need fat arrows, apparently. She just puts them into the 10 ring and, call it a day.
Trying to play catch up. Berenger's shoe. Did she catch that line? Just outside.
She had a little bit of a flinch right before she let go, and that's just how do I say it? It's just not a confidence in the muscles. That's another 10.
I like the way you say that. It's another 10.
Well, what else at this point of the game, right? But she just has to shoot strong. Berenger must just shoot strong shots.
Fighting for her life right now.
She did not look very happy coming off of that shot. It wasn't caught on TV, but it wasn't a very good shot in her opinion.
So here's the shot for the win. And a 9 will be enough to do it. And that's... Apparently there's going to be a judge's call. It would appear as though Ms. Shim has won the bronze medal.
We're looking at Berenger's second arrow. I think that's what the judges were looking at downrange.
And there's a big difference, because if they tie in this set, they split the points and will play on. Berenger, though, comes over, congratulates, and shakes the hand of Shim Ye-ji of Korea. Apparently Berenger Shu believes that she has lost the match.
And looking at the official score downrange, it is 6-2 victory for Miss Shim, and wins our first medal of the night.
So the bronze goes to Korea. Shim Ye-ji, who has had a strong day. Won the 1/8 match, 6-4. Won her quarterfinal match over Naomi Folkart 7-3. Fell to Mackenzie Brown 6-2, but bounces back and wins by the same score of 6-2 here in the women's bronze medal match on a Saturday night in Las Vegas at the 4th stage of the World Archery Indoor World Cup Tour. Along with Crispin Duenas of Canada, I'm Carl Arky. Glad to have you with us here on Archery TV as we take another look at the form of Shim Ye-ji. And Berenger's Shu got off to a great start, Crispin, but then things started to happen in that 3rd set when she had those pair of 9s.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I've seen her shooting, and a lot of recurve archers will remember her performance in Nîmes back in 2010, I believe, where a new bow, a new format of equipment just came out, and she was able to come out and shoot a perfect score back then when we were doing cumulative score out of 120. And she came out blazing, shooting 120 out of 120 to win the gold medal match in Nîmes. And that was a few years ago. She's still a strong competitor right now. But here we go with the gold medal final.
And congratulations to Shim Ye-ji as well as Berenger's Shu. Berenger doing a great job of getting to this point. Also getting to this point now for the women's gold medal match, Katuna Lorig of the United States. This will be an all-American affair here in the women's gold medal match. Katuna Lorig, who taught Jennifer Lawrence all she knows about shooting a bow and arrow. A fascinating woman who has been to 5 Olympic Games representing 3 different nations. And she is here center stage taking on one of the up-and-comers for the United States. And that is Mackenzie Brown out of Texas. Mackenzie Brown, who really burst upon the scene outdoors last summer for the USA. And here she is in the women's gold medal match on a Saturday night in Las Vegas.
Yeah, most notably for Mackenzie Brown. She was the bronze medalist, I believe, at the Olympic test event last September. And, I mean, she's a great Olympic contender for the U.S. right now. It would be her first Olympics. And right now, she's a potential Olympian going against a 5-time Olympian. And we'll see if experience against youth will prevail.
Will youth be served?
But I mean, like, it's no feat that Katuna Lorg is not actually all that old either. But 5 Olympics, I think she started very young when she was in her teenage years. And I mean, she's still a strong woman. She's still a very confident person, a very, very, very adequate shooter. And I mean, she's here proving that right now in the gold medal final against Mackenzie Brown.
Mackenzie Brown, 20 years of age, and last summer picked up a whole bunch of medals. Picked up a bronze medal at stage 4 in Medellin. Was the gold medalist at stage 3 in Wrocław, Poland. Also won a gold medal.
I think a team medal.
Team medal in stage 3 in Wrocław as well, and started off her career with a team gold medal in Shanghai in 2014.
That's a 10. Very strong shot. I think here for the crowd, it's an all-American crowd, so it's basically who they favor more on the field of play. It's not America versus something else.
So now the 20-year-old Mackenzie Brown with back-to-back 10s to start this party. And Katuna Lorg, there was a little bit of chatter on one of the radios, and you could hear it, but she didn't bother her.
Oh, it's Katuna's a very, very fierce competitor, so I know that something like that would not affect her at all.
Right now, the door's open for Katuna Lorg, who can take this opening set after that 9 by Mackenzie Brown, but she matches the same score, and they split the set.
And it's not like they split at a bad score. 29 under this amount of pressure, under these lights. I mean, I was going down to the field earlier today, and under those lights, it's pretty bright. It's almost blindingly bright if you're coming from a darker part of this arena. And you know, just the pressure of standing in front of everybody. Everybody's watching. You got, like, what?
Oh, there's thousands here. There's
3,000 pairs
4,000 people here.
Yeah, so 6,000 eyeballs looking at you at the same time. It's not easy to do. Although these people make it look easy, it is not easy by any means.
Sort of reminds me of the old boxing rings where they turned off all the other lights, and there's just those lights over the ring, and you got the two competitors slugging it out here.
Well, we need to lower a microphone in front of the judge and get him to say, "Let's get ready to rumble" or something.
Hey, he's in town. We could get him. So both of these archers started off with a pair of 10s, and then Mackenzie Brown fired a 9. You could see the grimace on her face. It was an opportunity for Katuna Lorg, but she couldn't take full advantage of it. She would also shoot a 9 on her third shot of the opening set, so they split the points and were tied at 1 apiece here in the women's recurve gold medal match.
And since we are tied, we're going to revert back to the original shooting order, which is Mackenzie Brown shooting first. That's a 9. Our TV didn't catch it, but it's 9 low.
So the third ranked archer in women's recurve, Mackenzie Brown, starts off with that 9. But Katuna comes through, cashes in. Advantage Katuna Lorg right now. Mackenzie Brown trying to battle uphill right now in this second set. Mackenzie doing a nice job of shaking off that first shot, which was a 9. But right now, Katuna Lorg dialed in. Still has the advantage in this set, leading by a point in this set. And now another 9 by Mackenzie Brown really has put her in a tough spot.
It's unfortunate because that is just out. It's not even a hair width out. And
no
that's
doubt about that.
Perfect 30 for Katuna Lorg, and giving her 3 set points to Mackenzie's 1 set point, and a 2 set point advantage for Katuna Lorg. And Mackenzie Brown will be shooting first when we resume.
Taking a look at the path that Katuna Lorig took to get to this gold medal match. She defeated Gwendolina Sartori of Italy in the 1/8 round. Then Jin Yun of Korea in a shoot-off in the quarterfinals before defeating Berengere Shu 6-5 in the semifinals. She won that shoot-off by the score of 9-8. Mackenzie Brown. Mackenzie defeating Aida Roman in the 1/8 round 6-2. Survived her quarterfinal match with Sophie Planix 6-4, and then defeated Shimyeji 6-2 in the semifinals. So that's how both of these archers got to this gold medal match here tonight in Las Vegas in the Prefert Pavilion in the South Point Hotel and Casino. Down 3-1.
Mackenzie's first arrow is a 10. I think it's in. It's on the line.
Needed a good start here in the third set, trailing 3-1 in the match. Katuna Lorig with the lead.
That's a 9. That's a solid, unfortunate 9 for Katuna Lorig. That's a 10.
Mackenzie removes all doubt with that shot. No asterisk needed.
That's a very good shot from Katuna. It'd almost be an inside-out X if there was an X ring on there.
Brown may be leading by 1, but she cannot assume that.
That's a 9.
Ooh, veers off course. So this is an interesting scenario right now. Mel Nichols, her coach. That's right on the line.
So right now it looks like Mackenzie Brown's first arrow is a 9 asterisk, but scoping it from where I am, it looks like it's touching that line.
That should be a 10.
It should be a 10 from my angle, but again, the spotters will play it safe and call that lower than what it's supposed to be, because it's so much better to get a point out of it instead of losing a point. But you can see
she's got her fingers crossed right now. She needs that to be a 10.
Yes, she does.
If it's a 10, they'll split
and go to 4-2, and we're seeing what they're putting down range right now, and it is 4-2. So they split that set, and Mackenzie Brown will be shooting first again.
So now she can exhale after finding out that was a 10 instead of a 9, and she's only down by 2. Otherwise, she was looking at a 4-point deficit, 5-1. Instead, it is 4-2. She's still very much alive and in this match. And we'll go first here in the fourth set of the gold medal match. Katuna Lorig, Mackenzie Brown, the two U.S. archers here in Las Vegas at the fourth stage World Cup Tour indoors.
That's just outright. For recurve archers right now, it's the tension in your fingers that you have to sort of pay attention to. Just because the amount of tension that you have will change if you're nervous or if you're uptight or if you're stressed out. And that's what's going to cause left and right arrows. It's just the way that string is leaving your fingers. If it doesn't leave it exactly the same way or the most consistent way that you could possibly do, then it's going to have that left and right effect. And that, unfortunately, I think that's what's happening with Mackenzie right now.
There's momentum for both of these archers. For Mackenzie, it's been momentum headed in the wrong direction, although she got it back there with a beautiful shot.
And a 9 to win for Katuna.
For the match, for the gold medal, Katuna Lorig got it on the line. That's a 10, and she wins it by the final score of 6-2. Katuna Lorig is your gold medalist in Las Vegas.
And a big congrats to Katuna Lorig. I mean, like, she's, I don't think she's had the summer that she wanted to have. So this is a great win for her for this winter. And Mackenzie Brown, unfortunately, having to settle for silver, but still, it's a silver medal at the World Cup indoor final. So it's nothing to bat an eye at. And congratulations to both these women. But there it is, your five-time Olympic medal, five-time Olympian, Katuna Lorig, coming home with the gold medal at the Indoor World Cup.
Katuna really putting on a clinic here tonight. Just watching the way she conducted herself, the way she handled herself throughout that match, the confidence that she exuded, and also the focus, a laser focus she had throughout the entire match.
I remember watching her in 2008 when that was my first Olympics, and when she walked onto the field, she didn't bat an eye. Well, I couldn't see her eyes. They were behind sunglasses. But I'm willing to bet she didn't bat an eye. She didn't crack a smile. There was no emotion whatsoever. If she shot well, her face was just absolutely stoic. If she shot bad, it was exactly the same thing. She's got this mental game down to a science and down to an art, because she knows how to control her emotions, and that's what every archer ultimately needs to learn how to do. If you're shooting well and you get excited by that, then that could adversely affect what's going on downrange.
So the gold medal goes to Katuna Lorig, the silver to Mackenzie Brown, and Shim Ye-ji of Korea takes home the bronze medal. Now we switch gears and we go to the guys. It is the men's recurve competition. We'll start off with the bronze medal match, and the first one out onto the field of battle here tonight is another Korean archer. This is Gae Dong-hyun of Korea, who will be facing his fellow countryman Kim Ju-won. So two of the Koreans battling in the bronze medal match. Of course, many of the great Korean archers in Brazil right now at a training event.
Yeah, I think they're in Sao Paulo right now training and getting acclimatized to what Brazil would feel like. And these archers, I hate to say they're the B team, but I mean the B team
they're still great.
Yeah, can still play with all the big boys and still win everything. So these archers are definitely great in their own respect, because they're still part of the Korean national team. I spent all day shooting with Kim. He was on the same target as me, and I had the feeling that he might be sick. He was coughing all day, and just he didn't look good. And that's in my opinion. I mean, like, his shooting was still really good. And Mr. Dong-hyun, I mean, I think he dropped only 2 points today. So out of 300, he shot 298 points. And Kim has opened the door.
So Mr. Gae with a 9 right there. 10 and a 9 to start off. Mr. Kim now with another 9. So he remains 1 point behind in this opening set. And Gae Dong-hyun can secure this set and 2 points with a 10, and he catches the line. Just bites that line. It's a 10-liner. So no matter what Kim would do on that shot, 3 straight 9s, that set was going to Gae Dong-hyun of Korea, who takes a 2-0 lead here in the bronze medal match.
But Mr. Kim's arrows are all out to the right, which means that I think he was just sighted in for a different lighting scenario, which is absolutely true. The other field has different lighting, and the fact that he grouped all of his arrows off to the right just means that, you know, just click your sight over a little bit and move those arrows into the 10 ring and you'll be good. So I think that's all he has to do right now, and I know I've seen him shooting. He's a very good shooter, so I'm not going to put it past him that he just started out with 3 9s, that he's the lesser of the 2 archers right now. He's going to come back. I'm willing to bet it.
Kim Ju-won defeated Jean-Charles Valadon of France in the 1/8 round. Defeated another Frenchman, Pierre Plion, in the quarterfinals before losing to Alexander Kozhin of the Russian Federation in the semifinals 6-2. We'll tell you a little bit more about Gae Dong-hyun and his path to this bronze medal match after this set.
That's a 10 from Mr. Kim. It's centered, but it's now still a little high, which is what all of his other arrows were.
Mr. Gae's first attempt.
And that's a 10.
A little low, but inside the line. That'll do.
10.
So apparently the adjustments have been made.
I told you. That's a 9 or a 10 on the line. I think it's in.
Looked like he caught the line from our vantage point.
Oh, that's unfortunate. And you see him shaking his head. He's not impressed with that shooting.
He left the door open.
And takes advantage of that one.
Ge Dong-hun taking advantage with a 10 right there to go up 4-0 in the match as he's won the first 2 sets. Closely contested sets, but nonetheless, it's a 4-0 lead for Mr. Ge right now.
And for anybody wondering what the spelling and the pronunciation that we're doing right now, we've actually gone down. We've asked the Korean team how to properly say their name. So even though it's written Guy, his actual name is Ge.
And that's the family name.
And that's the family
Thus,
name.
Mr. Ge.
Mr. Ge Dong-hun. Not Hyun, Hun. So for anybody out there who's wondering why we might not be reading the screen right, we're going off of exactly what the Korean team has told us how to pronounce their names, because I'm actually a little finicky about that, and making sure that I get all of these names pronounced correctly.
Let me see. Crispin Duenas.
That's right.
Yes, okay. I wanted to make sure. Crispin Duenas of Canada along with Carl Arky of the United States here on a Saturday night in Las Vegas at the Preferred Pavilion in the South Point Hotel and Casino. What a great venue, what a great place. They've had the Vegas shoot at many venues, but this is the best over the last 50 years.
And the biggest, which I will talk about in a little bit. That's a 9 or a 10. It's a 9, unfortunately.
So low on that opening salvo for Mr. Kim, who's trailing 4-0 in this match already. Mr. Ge trying to close things out, and he's off to a good start with that first shot. 10-9 lead for Ge Dong-hun of Korea.
It's a 10, just in.
Mr. Kim trying to come back. Ge Dong-hun holding him off right now, leading by 1 in the set, so that's 29 points in the set.
So a 10 to win.
A 9 and they split.
That's
there's the 9. So a chance to close it out. And Mr. Ge does not take advantage of that opportunity, and so they split the points, and they will play on to a 4th set.
Yeah, and what I'm seeing from that final arrow from Mr. Ge was that it's out to the left, and for a right-handed shooter, in my experience, from what I've done, that just means that he didn't complete his release as cleanly as he usually does. He probably came away from his face just a little bit, and his fingers pulled the string out to the right, which basically
so he pulled away from it, his face instead of just going right back along his chin line.
Exactly. So usually you see the fingers ending up behind the ear, but if you pull away from your face, horizontally away from your face, that'll pull the arrow and make it actually point left, which is why I think that last arrow was out to the left. And that happens under a lot of pressure with recurve archers, just because of the finesse that you need to have in your fingers to execute a perfectly executed shot.
So much goes into what takes place out here on the line. These great Korean archers, battle tested, trained, and down 5-1. Mr. Kim starts off with that 10.
That's a 10. And the match really still isn't over until it's actually over. I have seen many situations like this where an archer is down 5-1 and comes back to tie it 5-5. See what happens here with set play. That's a 10.
Kim Ju-won starting to warm up and rise to the occasion here in Las Vegas.
10.
Oof.
That left arm was a little shaky, wasn't it?
Yeah, but still he got what a lot of archers would call it almost a pinwheel, but dead center.
All even. Third shot, and that may.
He is still pushing them out high right.
All he needs is a 9 to split. He gets the 10, and the win is definitively his. Mr. Ge Dong-hun of Korea coming through and winning by the final score of 7-1 as he wins that set convincingly and wins the match convincingly. These two guys went a long way from home just so they could go up against each other here in the United States.
Well, I think that's what they wanted to have done, because like if they're going against each other in a medal round, somebody's walking away with a medal from that country. But Good shooting from Mr. Ge Dong-hun, and I mean, it's unfortunate that Mr. Kim, I'm really having this feeling that he's a little sick and under the weather for this tournament.
I don't think you need to be a doctor to be able to tell if a guy's feeling a little under the weather. You could probably tell.
Yeah, his cough didn't sound healthy at all today. It wasn't one of those little throat scratches. It was a pretty good one.
You know, it's interesting. I run into so many athletes from so many different sports, mostly here in the United States, and they complain about road trips. And they're going, you know, maybe an hour or 2 hours on a plane, maybe 3 hours, 4 hours. I say, you got to understand, there's athletes in this world who travel around the world to compete. You guys have it easy.
Yeah. That's not a 14-hour plane ride you just got off of.
Exactly.
So.
And now you've got to go and perform.
Yeah, exactly.
And don't catch a cold, by the way.
Yeah, in that recycled, dry airplane air.
Sure. You've got to adjust to the food. You've got to adjust to the atmosphere, the weather conditions, being in another nation. So, yeah, not easy.
No, not at all.
So there's a good look at Ge Dong-hun of Korea, who defeated Luca Daniel of France 7-3 in his 1/8 round match. Then defeated Ivan Gonzalez 7-1 before losing to Brady Ellison in the semifinals. But he gets to the bronze medal match and he wins the bronze medal. Here at the South Point Hotel and Casino, where Crispin Duenas of Canada, Carl Arky of the United States here on hand, and hope you're enjoying our live shot-by-shot coverage here on Archery TV as Brady Ellison just kind of ambles on out. To the floor of this arena.
I just want to say thank you to all of the people tuning in on YouTube and Archery TV to see these finals.
So Brady Ellison,
all of these archers competing.
Brady's going to have his hands full with this young man, Alexander Kozhin of the Russian Federation, who's had really an outstanding season indoors. He went up against Malotto of Italy and got to a shoot-off at one of the stages before finally losing there, but it was very tense. Albina Laginova in the crowd here tonight.
That's not a bad coach to have. She's a multiple world medalist, and Brady's got a pretty good coach too. I mean, Mel Nichols, he's one of the guys that I know who knows archery inside and out. Both
it's not his first rodeo, no.
Tuning and probably not actually his first rodeo. They're pretty sure they've been to actual rodeos. And Mr. Kozhin, interestingly enough, is the first and only recurve archer I'm seeing out here with fat arrows. Everybody else has been shooting the long distance thin arrows, Easton X10 arrows.
Brady bangs it home on his first shot.
That's a solid shot from Brady. Very good shot. Surprisingly, the crowd is really quiet. Kozhin's shots both low, still catching the line because he's got those nice fat arrows to get that. Brady is definitely solidly shooting 10s.
Nice round of applause from this huge crowd here at South Point as Kozhin.
That's very unfortunate for Mr. Kozhin.
Hands that first set to Brady Ellison, who takes a 2-0 lead. Kozhin, by the way, we were talking about his earlier success. It was actually last month in Nîmes, where he went up against Luca Malotto of Italy, and it went to the tiebreaker, where Malotto was able to come away with the victory. But Kozhin was right there. It was 5-5 after 5, and then goes to the tiebreaker, where anything can happen.
Yeah, and it's indoor archery is definitely a different beast than outdoor archery because you don't really have those elements, like I said before. So it shows who really is the mentally strong archer when they're shooting and not having any effects, just deterring them from shooting a 10.
Brady Ellison defeated Thomas Antoine of France in the 1/8 round. Was a 7-3 winner over Cedric Rieger of Germany in the quarterfinals. and defeated Ge Dong-hun of Korea in the semifinals to get to this gold medal match. So Brady Ellison, who came in number 1 after 3 stages, ranked number 1 in men's recurve after 3 stages, and was terrific in qualifying. Of course, Alexander Kojin was ranked 5th after the first 3 stages on the Indoor World Cup Tour.
Nice shot. 10 points on the line.
That's on the line and definitely caught the line, but Mr. Kojin has shot everything low this whole match.
Inside out. 10 points.
Right down the middle.
Liner 10.
There's his first high arrow, still on the line, but it's in.
Another perfect
And Brady Ellison matches that 10. So far, 10s across the board here in the second set. But it's Brady Ellison leading in the match early on, 2-0. There you can see that fat arrow.
Still on the line, but definitely in. But Brady's had 5 arrows inside out, not needing any line calls. That's another one.
Beautifully done. Tearing up that target. Both of those archers really putting on a show in that second set. So they split the set, and the lead goes to 3-1 in favor of Brady Ellison of the United States as he bids for the gold medal here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Alexander Kojin got a 6-2 win in the 1/8 round, then defeated Luis Alvarez of Mexico 6-5 in the quarterfinals. That went to a shoot-off, obviously, and his 10 was better than Alvarez's 10.
I hate losing like that.
Oh, it's got to just rip your heart out, doesn't it?
Been there, done that.
Sorry I brought that up.
No, it's all right.
And then it was Kojin defeating Kim Ju-won of Korea 6-2 in the semifinals to reach this gold medal match against Brady Ellison of the United States. 3-1's your score right now. Brady Ellison going for the gold medal here. And as we look back on the indoor season, Brady in Bangkok broke out there, won the gold medal as he defeated Oh Jun-hyuk of Korea 6-2 in Thailand.
That's a better shot from Mr. Kojin.
Brady Ellison focusing in on that center ring, 18 meters downstream.
10 points.
Finds it.
I think Brady's just putting on a show for everybody right now.
And it's an appreciative crowd here in Las Vegas. Very respectful. Stands are packed on a Saturday night at South Point.
Oh, just out.
And the first time that Brady Ellison flinches. And it comes here in the third set. After scoring 10s on his first 7 shots, puts up a 9. Kojin can put the set away, and he does, as that's 3 straight 10s for the young man from the Russian Federation who's about to pick up 2 set points. Tough to tell.
It's a 9 on the line, that's what they're calling it, but Brady's last 2 shots a little low. I mean, a low shot for a recurve archer just kind of means that you're just a little tentative off that string. It could have meant that you dropped your bow arm or you had a little bit of irregular pressure on your bow hand. It could have been a combination of anything, but Brady's such a consistent shooter that sometimes it's hard for me to tell what it was when Brady makes that shot, because I know how confident he is in his shooting and how much I've seen him shoot. He's just a very, very good shooter.
Well, the complexion of this match has changed a little bit. Brady Ellison got off to a 2-0 lead, then went up 3-1, as they split the second set. And there in the third set, it's Alexander Kozhin of the Russian Federation winning the set, taking the 2 points, and pulling into a 3-all tie now with Brady Ellison. So anybody's match at this point as these two fight it out for the gold medal.
Tied score.
Brady was rolling along his first 7 shots right in the center ring, and a couple of 9s to finish off the third set. Let's see if he can adjust and get back into the middle, and he does.
Eight.
Ugh. Ugh.
George chides the crowd. Tough crowd.
Yeah.
Brady has a 10.
I really hope the Russians understood what was going on there.
Well, I'm sure he felt the same way.
Yeah. Not much you can do in that point. You can just laugh it off. That's really all you can
That's
do.
probably the best thing to do.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's comfortable shooting now for Brady. He can shoot a 9 and still win this set.
9 to Brady.
And that's exactly what he will do. The set will go to Brady Ellison. The 10 here will only give Kozhin 28 points. He'll come up 1 point short of taking this set. So he recovers from the 8, but that 8 was really costly for him, Crispin.
Yeah, and again, it's out to the left. For a recurve archer, that just means that your release was not as clean and straight back towards your ear as much as it should have been. It probably came horizontally away from his face, which is what every nervous recurve archer does. And that's the price you pay. And unfortunately, with a big fat arrow like that, it's a little bit slower, so it gets more affected by what you do. It's not as quick and clean of a release out of your fingers as a small, skinny, light arrow would be. And that's what happens, unfortunately. But again, it's set play, so Mr. Kozhin could win this next set and bring it to a tiebreak, and it would be closest to the center for both archers. We're going to see what happens in the next 3 arrows.
So all is not lost for the young man from the Russian Federation who has Elvina Loganova in his coach's box behind him. There you see the release by Brady Ellison, who is poised to win the gold medal, but he's got to get the job done with these next 3 shots. Nothing can be taken for granted. Kozhin showed that with his performance in the third set where he reeled off 3 straight 10s. He's trying to do it again.
Unfortunately for Kozhin, a tie here would also give Brady the match.
All Brady needs is 1 more point to get to that magic number of 6. Beautifully done by Brady Ellison. Kozhin taking care of his own business. Needs a break. But I don't think Brady Ellison's inclined to give him that break. Not after seeing that shot. What could be the final shot of this match for Alexander Kozhin. And likely will.
Very unfortunate for Kozhin.
That's
not going to be happy with that. Still looks happy though. I think he's happy with his performance out here because it's very, very big pressure. That's a 9 for Brady Ellison.
9's enough. 9 is enough for Brady Ellison to win the gold medal. And what a way to complete the Indoor World Cup Tour for Brady Ellison with a gold medal here. As we mentioned before, Brady won the gold medal back in December in Bangkok at stage 2. Then he went to Nîmes in January, where he picked up the bronze medal with a 7-1 win over Rick Vandenover of the Netherlands. And here in Las Vegas, he defeats Alexander Kozhin by the score of 7-3. Crispin Duenas, it has been a pleasure as always, my friend.
Thank you. I believe you got a compound expert coming in for you right now, but it has been a pleasure. Always love working with you.
I love working with you too. Crispin, thank you so much. Crispin Duenas of Canada, the great Canadian Olympian in recurve archery, a man who also won a bronze medal at the World Championships in Belek, Turkey, just a couple of years ago. Crispin Duenas. Always a pleasure to have him on board and joining us here on World Archery. And as Crispin steps aside, stepping in is my old pal, Steve Anderson of the United States. Steve, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, Carl. Always nice to be here.
It's always great to have you, and we're off to a flying start already. The recurve is done. Brady Ellison with a great, strong performance there. Now we get set for the recurve competition, which I think is going to be very interesting here tonight. We're going to see Inge van Kaspel taking on the Korean Chae So-won in the bronze medal match. Then it's Sarah Holst Sonicson facing Sandrine van Dienont in the gold medal match. Then in the men's matches tonight, it'll be Peter Elzinga facing Mike Schlosser and Rio Wild going up against Jesse Broadwater. I'll tell you what, when I looked at the pairings and I looked at the matchups in the quarterfinals, I was blown away by that. There was some real talent going at it tonight.
Yeah, this event always seems to stack up the competition pretty deep, so it's some great matches ahead of us. Real excited for both gold medal matches. I think it'll be a couple of good ones.
How's it been for you down here this week?
So far, so good. I'm sitting at a 600. I haven't shot my best, so to be there and not be at my best is good, I suppose. But you know, it wasn't quite good enough, because otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here with you.
Well, next year we'll have you out there.
Yeah, I'll hit another World Cup next year and try to get on the stage. So I just didn't go to enough.
So here we go. This is the women's compound bronze medal match. Inge van Kaspel of the Netherlands, a very strong shooter. And Inge will be taking on the Korean Chae So-won. And we'll tell you how both of these young ladies got here tonight. Or excuse me, it's Chae So. My apologies to Ms. Chae. Of course, it's interesting. We talked about this with Crispin, Steve. Usually during the outdoor campaign, people qualify during the week and everything is set by Friday night. Then you get Friday night to kind of get ready for Saturday and maybe even Sunday. Here, these archers, again, we're shooting right up to the last minute qualifying for these bronze and gold medal matches.
Yeah, it was a firestorm. These guys had to skip dinner and head into the arena and do battle, and now we're here, you know, not an hour later.
We will find out just how hungry Chae So is, and Inge van Kaspel for that matter. So here is Inge.
Off to a great start.
First shot in the first end, right on target for Inge van Kaspel.
Yeah, that's an important one with the change in lighting here in the venue. You got to hope that the first one lands true so you don't have to make any adjustments.
How much of a difference is there in terms of the lighting?
Between here and the arena where they shot in, it's considerably different. So you never know if you're going to have any sort of point of impact change, and you hope to just come in here and cut loose your first one and hope it's true.
This is the feeling out period right here.
And 10.
Yeah, and unfortunately for the compounders, they don't get to benefit from the set system. So if you come out and have a bad end right away, you're digging a big hole for yourself. With the set system that we just saw out of the recurvers, you know, you might come out and have a bad end, but you can claw your way back, you know.
So 10, 9, and 9 for Inge van Kaspel.
10 lead by 2. It's a 9-point lead for the archer from Korea.
So 29-28 your score. Chae So of Korea taking that lead. 29-28. And the conversation's going on with the coaches right now, but now they should have a better feel for the field and what they're up against.
Yeah, now they just got to, you know, deal with the actual shooting part. Easier said than done.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah. So we will, as opposed to what we just saw out of the recurve, we'll see a full 5-set match, 15 arrows out of the compounds, and no set system, so every arrow counts.
So the arrows retrieved here at the South Point Hotel and Casino on the south end of the Strip in Las Vegas. Great crowd on hand here tonight. This thing just gets bigger and bigger and better every year. Bruce Cole, congratulations.
Yeah, what a huge turnout for the event, and what a huge turnout here tonight.
And it's a very knowledgeable and I think a very respectful crowd as they watch. And a lot of these are People who have stuck around after the presentation of the awards to the youth champions who were recognized earlier tonight, they're sticking around to watch how the best in the business conduct their business.
Yeah, this is always one of my favorite parts of Vegas. To shoot the World Cup final here, it's a great way to tack on, if you'd say that, to the World Archery Festival, and to make everything even bigger and better, and to get a good crowd out to actually watch the venue. You know, not every day that archery draws 3,000 plus people, but we've got them here tonight.
So a 9 for Inga to start off, and her second shot also a 9, digging herself a little bit deeper hole right now.
Yeah, Miss Che could potentially take a 3-point lead here. That's a close one.
So Inga Van Kaspel, who defeated Janine Meisner in the 1/8 round. And dare I say who she went up against in the quarterfinals?
For professionalism, yeah, we'll go.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about that during the break here after this end.
Yeah, not an ideal end for Inga there. Looks like she's going to be sitting down 3 or 4 points, it looks like.
Yes, unfortunately, I guess not unfortunately for Inga, but unfortunately for your wife, Linda Joe Anderson. Great match, though. 146-145, a win right down to the wire, and Linda coming up 1 point short as Inga was able to pull off the 1-point win in the quarterfinals, and then Inga falling by 1 point to Sarah Holst Sonnigsen in the semifinals. So that was her path to this bronze medal match. And as we look at Cheso-won of Korea, she defeated young woman from Denmark, 147-145, Tanya Jensen, falling by 2 points in the 1/8 round. Toya Chernay fell by the wayside in the quarterfinals, 144-142. And then it was Sandrine Van Dionon who was able to survive by 1 point over Cheso-won in the semifinals.
Yeah,
so she's definitely earned her way here.
Yeah, she, you know, she started off hot with that 147 in the first match, and then she kind of progressively dropped off a little bit. But, you know, good start here with a 59, and she's got a sizable lead over Inga.
Better start for Inga Van Kaspel.
Yeah, awfully close on that one, but I don't think it's going to get it.
Down by 3 points right now, trying to fight her way back. Doing all she can right now. She needs a little bit of help.
Yep. She can do it. You know, she's got to count on shooting 30s, and she's got to hope for some help. But
not forthcoming after that shot.
How many times have we seen a compound match turn around in an end or in a matter of, you know, end and a half? So it's doable.
Strange, or maybe I should say interesting things do happen.
Yeah.
Wow, what a shot by Inga Van Kaspel.
You could call them strange, interesting, or just unfortunate, but you know, things do happen.
Heartbreaking. Yeah. Gut-wrenching.
Yep. I've been on each side of that.
All of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember Poland.
Yeah,
yes.
Poland. In the morning, I shot a gigantic 8 in the team round, and then in the afternoon, I was the
beneficiary
of an unfortunate incident for Martin Damsbo.
But that's archery, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, that's
really?
Archery. I still shot a good score.
Inga, 85 out of 90 right now after 3 ends. And trying to fight her way back, get back into this. She's only down by 2.
Yeah, she picked up a point there, or 2 points rather.
She trailed by 1, 29-28 after the first end. Now here after 3 ends, trails by 2, 87-85. Chaewon So of Korea. And there you get a good look at Inga Van Kaspel. Wearing the glasses tonight. Trying to get a little bit better definition.
Yeah, Inga's always been a really strong indoor shooter. She's sitting in a good spot, I believe, for the Vegas shoot. I think she's in the top 5, so, or in the, and she might even be tied for first, so she'll have a chance to get the win tomorrow as well.
Vegas shoot coming up tomorrow. We'll have that for you here on Archery TV. One of the wildest events I've ever seen in sports. Archery's answer to Survivor.
Pretty much what it is.
Yeah. We'll actually be covering the Lucky Dog competition in its entirety.
I hope not to be there. So.
Looks like it's in.
Inga hoping that that's in.
Yeah, for those listening, the difference in the World Archery format versus the Vegas format, I don't know if you guys have gone over it, but the 10 ring you just saw, the recurve shooting, that's the 10 ring we're using for the Vegas tournament for all classes, all categories. And it's a little bit more, how do I described it this way yesterday. Shooting World Archery is how fast can you go, you know, jam the foot to the gas pedal and try to shoot just as many X's as possible. And if you throw one a little wild, not a big deal. But Vegas, you kind of got to pull off the accelerator a little bit because there's a little bit of a conservative approach. It's a don't miss game.
You can't miss.
Yeah.
You simply can't.
X's don't matter.
Right.
Just catch that Big 10 and survive in advance.
That's exactly the way you put it. Survive and advance. So now the lead grows back to 3, 116-113 in favor of the Korean archer. By the way, I want to mention that Matthews is now offering up to $300,000 in contingency for amateur classes and men's known 50 at ASA events. Matthews, one of the great sponsors here of this World Cup final on the World Archery Indoor Circuit. As we wrap things up here in Las Vegas. Of course, we have the World Championships, the Indoor World Championships coming up in Turkey at the beginning of March. But as far as the World Cup Tour goes, this is the 4th and final stage, and also the World Cup Finals. And our thanks to Matthews, one of the great sponsors. So a big hill to climb for Inga van Kaspel of the Netherlands.
Yeah, 3 arrows remaining, trailing by 2 points. She got what she needed right there.
Maintaining her composure.
Got one back.
Jae-Won So making things interesting. Maybe more interesting than she'd like.
Definitely more interesting than she'd like. Inga gave one back, though. It's always hard to close out a match, and it's equally as hard to get yourself back into a match. So we're seeing both sides of that here.
As we say in the States, looking at the gift horse in the mouth, right?
Yep, so Inga needs this one. Got to have it.
Trying to keep it together and got it.
10 wins, Miss Che. 9, and we're going to see a shoot off.
No shoot off. Not tonight. The Korean archer, Jae-Won So, coming through with a 10, and it was a solid 10, and no doubt about it, 10. And all smiles on the face of the Korean archer.
Yeah, that's a clutch shot right there. Sometimes I found that those final shots, those ones you really need, for whatever reason, they come a little easier. But the shots before that can be a bit of a struggle. And we saw that out of Miss Che here, but she, as I said, she came through in the clutch.
She gave up a few points. She was leading by 3 after 4 ends. And in that 5th end, gave back a couple of points, but she winds up winning by 1 point. And takes the bronze medal here in Las Vegas at stage 4 of World Archery's World Cup Indoor Circuit. And you know, Steve, it's interesting. I was thinking about that last shot. It's not as though that's like a 2-foot putt. I mean, you've still got to shoot that shot.
Right.
It's 18 meters away, and you got to nail it.
Yeah, no matter what. I mean, it's the same as it was the first arrow out of the bow. So I had a kid ask me that today. He said, did you feel more pressure today in the Vegas shoot? I said, no, I really didn't. I mean, it's always the same, right? It's
every shot counts, doesn't it?
Yeah, every one of them is the same. The 10 ring doesn't get smaller as you go, doesn't get bigger as you go. Sometimes it feels like it does, but it's still the same as it is at home, still the same in Vegas. You know, Bangkok, Marrakesh, Nîmes, wherever you're at. So
it's all in your head, right?
Oh, so much of it is.
So much between the ears.
And it can be the indoor archery with the compound can really be a hateful game at times, but you know, it's a fun one to play. It's a fun one to progress in, and just when I think I'm not coming back, something hooks me and drags me back in. You know,
kind of like my golf game.
Yeah, that
takes one good shot.
The one glory shot of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which, you know, we're close enough. We should probably go play around when the snow clears.
When the snow finally clears, which may be August.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on now to the gold medal match in the women's compound. Should be interesting. From Denmark, Sarah Holt Sonniksen coming out. She's had a good indoor season. We'll go over that in just a moment. Same is true, though, for Sandrine Van Dionon of France, who's also performed very well. As you look at Sandrine Van Dionon.
Yeah, Sandrine found her way into a medal match in Nîmes, and Sarah has been ripping it up the whole year, with her bow or without, you know. Well, without her bow, it was a bit of a struggle, but when she got hers back in her hand, you know, interesting story. She had to shoot qualification. I think it was in Marrakesh with a borrowed bow, and shot absolutely terrible by her standards. And when her bow did show up, she made a good run. I think at the podium there in Marrakesh for the first stage.
So Sandrine Van Dionon.
But it seems I see Sandrine here every year. Every year she's making a run at this final.
Loves the indoor circuit. Performs well on the indoor circuit. Hoping that she caught the line with that first shot. And Sarah with her first shot. Nobody flinching.
No, she was a little quick on the button there, but it worked. It's a bold strategy to have a button that light or to get on it that heavy. But you know, she's got 2 arrows in the 10 ring.
Little low for Sandrine Van Dionon. So Sarah Holt Sonniksen can take the lead with a 10, and it looks as though she has done that. Now this is a rematch from stage 1 in Marrakesh way back in November, where Sandrine and Sarah faced each other on the carpets in Marrakesh, and it was a 4-point win for Van Dionon that day, as she defeated Sonniksen by 4 points, and Sarah had to settle for the silver. And so now a little bit of hopefully Sarah's hoping for a little bit of payback here.
Yeah, looks like she's gonna have 1 point lead here. But they're saying it's close, but I think we had a pretty good view of it from our friends that Hit the Roof. They do a great job of giving us the shots we need, and we've got great cameras here.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah. We need to pat the guys on the back.
Yeah. They came straight from the Lancaster tournament, where I was doing this there as well, and
in the snow, by the way.
Yeah, in 3 feet of snow. Yeah, and
good timing.
It was yeah.
Snowstorm of the century. Yeah. It's the East Coast.
100-year snowstorm. You know, it was. I think it broke the record by about 3 or 4 inches. We had 30 inches of snow there. It took me a few hours to get the car out.
So a good look at Sandrine Van Dionon. Trying to win another gold medal. 1-1 in Marrakesh. Trying to win one here. Pair of nines.
Yep, Sarah had the opportunity there and gave it back.
Trailing by 1.
9.
And the string of nines continue.
Yeah, watching her thumb there, she's really quick on that button. So sometimes you see shooters like that when they get in a groove, works great. When it comes apart pretty hard. So we'll see if she can hold it together.
10 minor, probably in.
May have caught it.
And a 10 inside out.
Sarah's she's got it in a groove right now.
Right down Broadway with that shot. Sarah Holst Sorensen. A beautiful shot right there. Sarah was ranked 3rd in the world rankings after the first 3 stages. Sandrine number 2 after the first 3 stages. So both highly ranked. Not a surprise that these two have gotten here. Oh, by the way, since we didn't mention Linda, your wife, we do need to mention that she did win a gold medal in Nîmes at stage 3. So just to be fair,
yeah,
I need to bring that up. I know that's probably something that I should bring up.
Yeah. Well, I am more than happy for her to win. You know, that's never a bad thing for me either. So.
Oh no, it's good. It's good. Hey, by the way, congratulations. This was your. When was the anniversary? First year anniversary?
Yeah, it was the day she actually won in Nîmes.
Oh, it was. Okay.
So, yeah.
That's a nice way to celebrate.
My parents joked with me, you know, we're from the Boise, Idaho area, and my dad said, you know, I took your mom to one of the nicest restaurants in all of Boise, and I couldn't afford it, but I had a credit card, and it was awesome. And you're taking your wife to Paris and eating, you know,
French food.
Yeah, the best food in the world, and seeing the Eiffel Tower and Nîmes and all of that.
Well, I'm sure he was happy for you because all fathers want their children to do better.
Beyond the little bit of resentment I felt, yeah, there was, you know, there was happiness from him.
You talk about the visor a little bit that Sandrine uses.
So a lot of shooters who have an issue with either they don't have a true dominant eye, or they shoot with their non-dominant eye, or they just have issues with one eye taking over. They wear that blocker that you see her wearing. So it's something you just put on the side, and it kind of prevents the non-shooting eye from taking over and losing the focus through the peep sight that you need. So
takes it out of the equation.
Yeah, and you see a number of shooters using that. And as you can see, she has constructed one out of a folder clip. So not a, you know,
sophisticated or high-tech device.
Not a lot to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of a rough go for each shooter here this end.
See if Sarah can break away right here with a 10. And she does.
You got one.
Creates a little bit more breathing room for herself right now, and she goes up by 3 points in this gold medal match in women's compound in Las Vegas. Along with Steve Anderson, Carl Arky, hope you're enjoying the sights, the sounds, the pictures here on Archery TV on a Saturday night, or it could be a Sunday morning, or whatever time it is, wherever in the world you may happen to be.
You may be watching this in 3 or 4 months, but you know.
Yeah, 3 or 4 months from now, we hope you're enjoying it.
But it's certainly Saturday night in Vegas, which is an interesting night in Las Vegas.
It really is. And we've gotten a great crowd out here. They're enjoying the archery, the competition. Some of the best in the world, center stage here at the South Point Hotel and Casino. Men's competition right around the corner. You'll see some of the top men's compound archers: Peter Elzinga, Mike Schlosser, Rio Wild, Jesse Broadwater. We'll get into that in just a couple of minutes, but right now a little bit more business to be taken care of right here in this women's gold medal match.
Yep, 6 arrows to go, 3-point lead for Sarah. You would think that would be a comfortable lead, but you know, we saw one of those all but disappear in the last match too.
Chase So-Won winning by 1 point, 144 to 143 in the bronze medal match, and had a comfortable lead going into that final end, but it got a little tight. It could happen here.
Yeah, and Sandrine is going to need all of the 10s from here on out. She's going to need all 5 in the 10 ring to have a chance, I'm thinking. But Sarah's not capitalizing either.
It's contagious. Lead stays at 3 for Sarah Holst Sonicson. There's the shot that Sandrine was looking for.
Yep, she needed that one, absolutely.
See if she can build on that.
Sarah answers.
Got to up your game. And she did. Still down by 3. So she finishes with a pair of 10s.
Yeah, last one looked close, but we've got some good spotters here, and they're saying it's in.
So the lead will actually be down to 2 now after that 9. Pair of 9s for Sarah in that end. So it's tightened up just a little bit. The plot doth thicken here in this women's gold medal match in the women's compound competition.
Yeah, Sarah's not liking the last few ends. She hasn't. She didn't have the strong. She had the strong start and has not had the strong middle to this match. But as I mentioned, sometimes when things are going good, they go good, and then when you're not executing well or properly, it can really come off the rails.
Let me ask the dumb question: what happens?
Hard to say. I mean, I think you get one arrow that you blow one out of the 10 ring pretty heavy, and then from there on, maybe you just get a little anxious and you're trying too hard to stick one in, or you're changing something, or thinking differently, or approaching it differently.
You think too much?
Yeah, you're almost trying too hard to be holding perfectly still, and sometimes you lose the execution side of it. There's 2 components of a good shot. One is aim, the other is execution, and I would say execution is far and away the more important component there.
Right.
You can still shoot a great score when you're not aiming well, but you got to be executing well, and then conversely, you can have the best aim in the world and not execute well, and everything finds its way outside of the 10 ring.
Well, let's see what happens here. Sandrine Vendiano only down by 2 points. Now she's starting to get into the groove.
Yep.
Yeah. And Sarah answer.
Yeah, it puts the pressure on Sarah too.
And there's a 10.
And she got it.
Great competition going on right now. They battled before in Marrakesh. Now, months later, here they find themselves in Las Vegas, battling again.
Yeah, just out for Sandrine there. That's probably going to be enough to do it, provided Sarah can just keep them in the yellow.
9.
Just touching that line, but 9 is all that she needs to win. And she goes one better. It is over, and Sarah Holst Sonicson of Denmark is your gold medalist in women's compound here in Las Vegas at the World Cup final. And gets a little bit of payback after the loss by 4 points in Marrakesh to Sandrine Vendiano. So these two have had some good, strong, hard-fought matches. But you can see the joy and the happiness right there for that young lady.
Yeah,
big win. That's a big thing to win here.
Yep. And she's been one of the stronger shooters coming up through the junior ranks, and we've had our eye on her. And she's delivering now. She's kind of as promised.
So Sarah Holst Sonicson coming through with a big win, winning by 2 points, 144 to 142 here in Las Vegas on a Saturday night. So the gold goes to Sarah, the bronze to, the silver to Sandrine, and Shea Won-so wins the bronze medal in compound competition. You could see it throughout a lot of this match, though. Sandrine was really kind of struggling, trying to find her way.
Yeah, early on she struggled to find the 10. It was just kind of there was no groove, there was no consistent shooting. She never really got comfortable, you could say, on the stage. And Sarah didn't necessarily finish well, but started strong enough, had that quick, fast start, and really did all she needed in the first few ends to pick up a win.
Had enough to bring it home. And now we go to the men's compound matches to finish off our coverage here on a Saturday night in Las Vegas on Archery TV, along with Steve Anderson, Carl Arky, as we get set for the men's compound bronze medal match. What competition we saw here today in the quarterfinals and the semifinals, and it took a lot to get to this point. And one of the gentlemen who got here is Peter Elzinga. Peter getting to the bronze medal match. Peter Elzinga, one of the veterans, one of the great archers in the world. And he'll be taking on Mike Schlosser. So Mike Schlosser against Peter Elzinga. And this should be a great one. Peter Elzinga of the Netherlands defeated Matt Sullivan of the United States in the 1/8 round, then knocked off Christopher Perkin in the quarterfinals before losing to Rio Wild in the semifinals. That's how he got here. And let's see, Mike Schlosser, his path. He defeated Christophe Dussault of France, 150 to 146 in the 1/8. Then defeated Fabien Delobel, 148, 145. And then Mike in a close one, falling by 1 point to Jesse Broadwater, 149 to 148. So Schlosser.
And these two have got to be tired of shooting against each other. You know, they're both from the Netherlands. It doesn't take a whole lot of time to drive from one side of the country to the other. So, you know, every local event they're competing, and every national event they're competing, and they see each other on the world stage often enough as well. So it's yeah, they got to be just tired of each other. But it's a great rivalry as well.
And it's how the cards have fallen here in Las Vegas that they end up in this bronze medal match, both starting off with 10s. And Mike, who's been labeled Mr. Perfect, which I think is a little unfair to some extent. It puts a lot of pressure, I think, on a guy to be known as Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, but he does it often enough.
Had that 600 last year.
Yeah, he shot the it was the world record, you know.
Right.
Perfect 600. And, you know, as you see, he started his first match of the day here with a 150 over Christophe Dussault.
And he's perfect here in the first end.
So far, so good. Yeah.
All right, they're both perfect.
Yep.
Peter Elzinga. Both of these guys, some of the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet.
Yeah.
Great archers, great sportsmen.
Yeah, Mike has his dad down on the line with him, his dad Boss, awesome guy. And Peter has his wife Vanessa, who you see on the screen right here. She is a professional golfer, so you know, maybe we should invite her along on our trip.
Exactly.
We can get some tips. So
best ball.
Yeah.
It will be hers, I guarantee. Well, maybe yours, but it won't be mine.
She gave me a few pointers up at the booth earlier in the week, and you know, she said, "Hey, normally that'd be $100." I said, "Well, Vanessa, check's in the mail." So.
That's right. That's right. She doesn't need you to figure out how to shoot a bow and arrow, does she? Yeah.
No. But it certainly doesn't hurt to have some swing tips from her.
That's right. I know how happy Peter was when he finally broke through in Medellin and won a World Cup gold medal, and he was thinking of her, his wife back home, and how happy she was when he finally, after so many tries and coming so close so many times, finally got that gold medal in Colombia.
Yeah, and you know, a picture that stands out in my mind is Peter in Telford when the it was 2013, I believe, when the Nîmes event didn't happen. It was moved to Telford because of World Championships. I guess it was 2014. And Peter picked up the win there against Mike. And, you know, famously, there's an awesome photo of him hugging his wife. And that's one I'll always remember of him and Vanessa. And I was there over the summer actually in Netherlands, and he showed me his home and his shop and everything, and real great guy, truly.
His life devoted to the sport of archery.
A pair of 9s from each of them right there. So Peter can put this one in the 10 ring, even up the match.
Peter puts it where he wants to put it. Now we are all even at 49.
No longer perfect, but still even.
Who's perfect? Mike has been, and so has Peter on occasion, and so has Steve Anderson.
That's few and far between, but yeah, on occasion.
Just outside.
Yeah, and I think Mike's arrow is going to be a little closer. They may end up getting a different judgment there.
So it'll call for close scrutiny by the judges. It could be a score of 58 out of a possible 60 for Peter Elzinga. And Mike Schlosser, 58 out of 60. So a real battle going on here in Las Vegas. The Vegas shoot coming up tomorrow here on Archery TV. We'll have that for you. The award ceremonies, the lucky dog competition, lots in store coming up on Archery TV this weekend. This, of course, the premier indoor event in the sport of archery. Over 3,000 participants venturing to Las Vegas to take part, and it's such a cool event, Steve, to see the little kids and the young kids competing, and they're rubbing elbows, rubbing shoulders with the greatest archers in the world.
Yeah, we do the practice with the pros event on Thursday night, the day before the competition starts, and they come down and shoot with us and have a good time, I hope, and
oh, I know they do.
And then you get to see the pro shooters up in the booths and hang around with them and talk to them. Archery is a very approachable sport, whereas some of the other events, some of the other sporting events in the world, you're never going to get to walk up.
You'll never get close.
Yeah, say hi to Roger Federer or some of those guys. So, but
not that Roger's a bad guy, but you're just not going to get close.
No, it's just not how those things work. And here in archery, everyone is right there for you to talk to and pick their brain.
And what that does for those kids and how it encourages them, and it's going to bring on that next generation of great archers.
Yeah, absolutely. And the generation coming up, I think, has a lot of promise. They're figuring it out a little earlier, and they're getting competitive earlier and earlier, and you're seeing a lot of young talent out there.
What a competitive match we've got going right here. It's tied at 77 all, but a chance now for Peter Elzinga. Although they did put an asterisk by that 9 for Mike Schlosser.
Yeah,
it appeared to be out.
Yeah, I think we have a better angle on the camera than what the spotter does with the scoreboard machine.
That's on the line. That caught it. That's definitely a 10, and Elzinga should have a 1-point lead.
Yep, looks like it.
So Mike's surveying the situation, thinking it over, mulling it over in his mind. Peter Elzinga hoping to take a bronze medal back home to the Netherlands. And right now, they have Peter Elzinga 1 point up, 87-86.
Yep, scores are confirmed. They're pulling arrows, so. 6 arrows to go, 1 point lead for Peter.
Yep, there it is.
Obviously, you'd rather be in the lead than trailing, but there is pressure that goes along with being that lead dog.
Yeah, hard to close a match. Definitely hard to close a match, and maybe a little easier with the pressure off you, maybe when you're trailing. But you could say from either side of it that it's difficult. And like we said, 10 rings the same. Every arrow is the same. So it's all in how you approach it, I suppose.
Kind of out of the hands of Mike Schlosser to some degree, because he needs Peter to slip up a little bit.
Yeah, and
Peter's got it all in his hands right now.
Yep, when you're counting on the other guy to miss, that kind of stinks, because in indoors, oftentimes guys just don't.
Don't.
So, yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah, I had a match with Jesse Broadwater at World Cup in Nîmes, and I missed my third arrow and ended up shooting a 149, and he shot a 150.
Right. What are you going to do?
What can I do? Yeah. Go home. Shoot perfect next time.
Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, I think.
Yeah. Most all explosive.
Yes. Mike coming back with a 10 after that 9 to open this end.
10.
But Peter is not backing off the pedal at all. Lead grows to 2.
10.
Yeah, and if he can close it out, a 2-point lead is huge here. Huge.
Schlosser stabbing the center of that target with that shot. But a 10 would maintain the 2-point lead. That's exactly what Peter Elzinga will carry into the next end. So 107-105 your score right now. Peter Elzinga trying to hold off his Dutch teammate Mike Schlosser. Both have shot very well.
It's very, very scary having 3,000 pairs of eyes looking at you shooting a single arrow. That's something about
Yep,
So,
confirm the
excuse me,
scores.
117, 115.
You were just ahead of that scoreboard
Yes.
there. One arrow.
shooting at something as grandiose as Vegas. But anyway, these guys are showing us how it's done, making it look easy and going into the final 3 arrows of this match. Trust me, you're not even thinking about the audience right now.
Look at the determined Peter Elzinga as he continues to pour it on and pulls out to a 2-point advantage. Not much of a cushion, but a cushion. And he's got a little bit of room to play with, but you don't want to take too many chances.
Yeah, it's 2 points over Mike Schlosser. I would call, as big of a cushion as you're ever going to find. But yeah, he's got to start strong here. He's got to put the first one in if he wants to be a little more comfortable closing out the match.
And it's another arrow to the same hole.
But Mike gives him one.
Chance to go up by 3.
Dead center, inside out X.
At 10, liner.
Trying to keep hope alive. Mike Schlosser catching the line.
10.
Peter working through the shot pretty quickly there. But worked out for him.
May have to call him Perfect Peter.
10.
So just a few shots, but those few shots are the ones that really can cost you.
Mm-hmm.
And it may cost him right here.
Yes.
Peter Elzinga
Should be routine for Peter. Yeah.
wraps it up. Peter puts it down the middle, gets a kiss, gets a hug, and gets a bronze medal here in Las Vegas. Great match between those two from the Netherlands. And I'm guessing well, I know you're right. I'm sure that they would rather have shot against anybody besides a fellow countryman and teammate.
Yeah, there's a good chance they'll be shooting another match next weekend back home, It's just how it's been for them.
147-144 your final score as Peter Elzinga comes away with the bronze medal, one of the biggest wins of his career. And a great night for that man. And both of these archers from the Netherlands putting on a good performance here for us tonight here in Las Vegas. Great friends, great teammates. But only one can win the medal, and it goes to Peter Elzinga as he defeats Mike Schlosser by 3 points, 147-144. So tonight, we finish up with an all-American affair here in Las Vegas at the South Point Hotel and Casino. Great venue, great site for Stage 4 of the World Cup indoor tour. And it's too bad we don't. Well, actually, I like the ambiance. I like the lighting here. But if those lights were on, you could see how big a crowd we have in the stands here. Trust me, one of the greatest turnouts we've had for this event.
Yeah, great to see a lot of people out here. It truly is awesome.
What does it do for you guys when you're at the line? You know, you got that crowd. I mean, it can add to the nerves, but it's also cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, you shoot a few of these, and it makes going home and practicing really boring. So this is an adrenaline rush. I mean, you can hear the crowd behind me.
And it never gets old. I mean, even for Rio, this never gets old.
No, I don't think it ever totally leaves you where you're just numb to it. But the energy, sometimes you can feed off it. Sometimes it can beat you down. But these two, obviously, some of the best in the game. And this is a classic match for us here. This is one we've seen for years and one we'll probably see for years to come.
Two Americans, Rio Wild and Jesse Broadwater, going at it here in the men's gold medal match. Rio Wild defeating Federico Pagnoni of Italy, 149-147 in the 1/8 round. Then it was Rio by 1 over Sergio Pagni in the quarterfinals. And Rio surviving by 1 point over Peter Elzinga, so he really had to fight hard to get here. Jesse Broadwater, all he had to do was beat Braden Gellantine, that's all. That was a tough match.
Yeah, he started with Chance Bopoff, who had a great morning here. He shot a 30x on the Vegas round this morning, and gave Jesse a pretty good match at 147 today too.
Jesse beating Braden by 1 and Mike Schlosser by 1 as well, and now he's up against Rio Wild.
Rio opening with a 10.
Jesse taking his time.
Yeah, he held for a really long time and really far out to the right there.
Trying to adjust, get used to the lighting here. Rio has adjusted very quickly. Starts off with 2 10s.
Jesse 10.
Jesse with the adjustment. Good look at the release for Rio Wild.
Hung one in there.
Just barely touching that line. But it's good as gold for Rio Wild. 3 10s to start off this match. Wow, what a shot by Jesse Broadwater right there, who will only trail by 1, 30-29. Let's talk a little bit about the releases that these two gentlemen are using.
Both of them are shooting a hinge release. They're both shooting true ball hinge releases. They're made of brass, which adds to the weight. A lot of people prefer that heavier feel in the hand. The hinge release, for those who don't know, operates off of rotation, so there's no trigger mechanism. Once the hook that holds the string clears what we call a moon, it opens up. So as the hinge rotates from the archer's thumb side of the hand towards the pinky side of the hand, that's how you actually fire the release aid. So both of them shooting the same style. A lot of top pros use the hinge release. And you see a number of guys shooting the thumb button, which is the other side of it, which is actually a trigger mechanism.
That's where they're punching it, right?
Yeah, well, not necessarily. Not all of them are punching, but you certainly can punch one of those. These ones are nearly impossible to punch. You can roll through one quickly, but this tends to cure a lot of, well, not cure, but help aid in any sort of anticipation issues or, punching one off before you're quite ready. So these guys, it's nothing new to them. They've shot hinge releases for basically as long as I can remember.
Good look at Jesse Broadwater. Picked up the bronze medal last month in Nîmes with a 1-point win over Sergio Pagni. Now he's trying to knock off Rio Wild here in the gold medal match.
Yep, trying to get a point back, and he's doing all he can. He's got to hope Rio opens the door.
Rio rock solid.
Inside out on that one.
Lead remains at 1. See, checking it out. Looks like it's a 9.
Yeah, they're saying 9 asterisk, but we're thinking it's probably just out.
That one's definitely out.
Yeah, no doubt there.
Beautifully done.
Yeah, no doubt on that one either. Yeah, I believe we'll see that second arrow of Jesse, the 9 asterisk. We will see that get called as a 9 and leave him with 58 points. And there's another big 9 for Rio.
Kind of a wild shot by the wild man. Trying to laugh it off right now, but instead of the lead, it's tied up at 58 all. Rio had led by 1 after the opening end, but now 58-58. Anybody's match at this point. Broadwater and Wild go at it here in the final match of the night here on Archery TV. Tied at 58 all. A 28 for Rio Wild in that second end. Rio looking back on his season indoors, picking up the gold medal in Bangkok back in December. That was after a 4-point win over another American archer, Matt Sullivan.
Yeah, you see his face on that last shot. He was not liking it.
Not pleased.
No.
No.
And Jesse pretty much just looks the same all the time.
Jesse's got a good poker face, huh?
Yeah, he does.
He's in the right place. South Point, of course, is the location for Poker After Dark and High Stakes Poker. 2 of the TV shows that are shot here at South Point Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas.
I was not aware of that.
Oh, yeah.
Not much of a poker guy, though.
You know, it's interesting. I was doing a radio show one night about 10, maybe 15 years ago, and I looked up at the TV and I saw poker on TV, and I thought, and I said out loud on the air, who in their right mind would watch poker on TV?
That's huge.
The phone lines lit up, and we talked about it for the next hour. It's huge. It's amazing.
So Jesse takes a 1-point lead there. Rio with another big 9. Back on track with an inside-out 10 there. But,
terrific shot.
Yep. But he did give one away to Broadwater.
Needs a 10 here to maintain his lead, and he gets it. Up by 1, Jesse Broadwater. Trying to knock off Rio Wild and win that gold medal.
10 to close for Rio. So a 10 for Jesse, and he'll maintain that lead once more.
Looks cool, calm, and collected. But holds for a long, long time. It pays off, though. Pays dividends. Yep. Nice round of applause for both these archers, but especially that shot by Jesse Broadwater. That was a terrific shot.
Yep. And Jesse has told me he kind of bases his shot process off of his aim. He's not as much of an executor as a lot of guys. Makes him a great indoor shooter, great field shooter. Sometimes he struggles in the wind, I think, because of that. But we're not playing in the wind today. We're here in the friendly confines of the South Point Arena.
72 degrees, control temperature. No breeze, no wind, no sun to worry about.
Yeah, we're kicked back and enjoying ourselves here, Carl.
Saturday night in Vegas, man. What could be better? Great match going on right now between these two. Rio Wild from Pocatello, Idaho, taking on Jesse Broadwater, the 2 U.S. archers. And again, from time to time, Rio Not able to put it where he wants it. So all set now for the next end. Rio trailing, shooting first. Down by 1. 88-87 your score.
10 points.
Put that one in.
Right now, Jesse Broadwater on a roll.
Yeah, he's wearing out that hole.
Maintains the 1-point lead, 97-98. Rio's got to keep doing that and hope he gets a break.
Yeah, and you know, in a gold medal final, you may see an opportunity where Jesse does miss one, but
can't count on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say only because it's a gold medal final. You know, most of the time the guy is just stone cold, and we might just see him
run the
walk
table
away with it here. Yeah.
And as you've said, I mean, you can shoot a 149, which is an amazing score.
Get bounced.
And still get bounced.
But, you know, as long as Rio's shooting 10s, he is putting the pressure on him. That's really all he can do is shoot 10s and hope.
Almost, but it did catch that line, so
should be good there.
It counts every bit as much as the shot that's right down the middle and in the center of the target. And Rio knows he's in a bit of a bind right now, trailing by 1 point with 3 shots to go here in the gold medal match in Las Vegas, stage 4 of the Archery Indoor World Cup circuit, and also the World Cup final. Final match of the night here in Prefert Pavilion.
Yeah, the screen had 117 for Jesse with a 9 asterisk, but they changed that to a 10. They confirmed that it was touching the line, and now he's sitting with a 118. We saw Kevin Wilkie. I don't know if it showed it on the screen, but we saw him give a thumbs up to Jesse as he approached the target. He's Jesse's agent for the round, and then the judge stepped in, checked the arrow, confirmed it to be a 10.
Those agents can be important, can't they?
Yeah, they're nice to have down there, and Kevin did exactly what he's there for. I mean, really, the agent does nothing. They pull the arrows, but when there's a close
look out
one,
for your best interests.
When there's a close one, they need to give you the signal. You know, thumbs up, thumbs down, and Kevin did his job there.
Down to the final 3 shots of the gold medal match. Rio Wild trailing by 1 point.
10 minor is a 9.
They're calling that one out the top.
Rio with a look of surprise.
10 inside out.
And Broadwater just keeps bringing it.
Minor. Judges call be needed on that one.
Another one close to the line there, and they're going to put the asterisk up on that second arrow. It's going to be a tough call because there is a number of holes right in that location that disrupt the 10 line.
Of course, if Jesse keeps shooting the way he's shooting, it's all academic.
Yeah, if Jesse puts the final arrow in, it's completely irrelevant.
Could be the final shot of the night. And it's a 9 for Rio Wild, who started out so strong.
Yeah, he gave himself a chance, and he put the pressure on Jesse, and then 3 9s to close, and Jesse that 9 gives it to him.
Slips just a bit, but he had enough of a cushion, and Jesse Broadwater walks away with a 3-point win and a gold medal here in Las Vegas. as he was relentless and comes away with a 147-144 victory and takes the gold medal home here at the World Cup final.
I think this might be a new title for him. I'm not sure he's ever won the World Cup final. I'd have to dig into some history on that one, but
I'll do a little bit of research here while we've got a moment and see if we can find out if he has indeed.
Official from the World Archery judges. Victory for Jesse Broadwater, United States of America.
They've ruled it official now. We suspected as much, but the judges checking out those final arrows and making it official. We'll go back and take a look at Jesse's record down through the years. An impressive one, to say the very least.
yeah, it's going to be a long list of accomplishments you're going to have to weed through there.
Once again, we'd like to remind you our Vegas shootout will be taking place tomorrow. And it's going to be
When you look at the World Cup medals that he's won a bronze medal in Nîmes this year, which we mentioned already. Also won a gold medal in team competition in Ogden 2010. So as far as indoor competition goes, this is a huge win for Jesse Broadwater. Yeah, a breakthrough night for him.
Yeah, I've seen him medal elsewhere. He medaled in Nîmes. He was a bronze medalist there in 2013. I'm very certain on that because I was standing behind him. But this is his first ever World Cup final victory.
Well, congratulations to Jesse Broadwater and his gold medal performance. Real Wild to silver, and Peter Elzinga gets the bronze medal. That's going to do it for Steve Anderson. I'm Carl Arky. We say so long from Las Vegas. We'll see you tomorrow for the Vegas Shootout.